¿Qué tal a todos, amigos de Vericu que nos ven aquí en este canal de YouTube? El día de hoy tenemos un invitado sumamente especial, alguien que no necesariamente está en el reino de la música pesada o heavy, pero sí es alguien sumamente extraordinario y digno de admirarse. Estoy aquí con Ronan Harris de la excelente banda VNV Nation. Ronan, welcome to Vericu. It's a huge honor to have you here. Tell us
The
a
honor
bit.
is mine.
How are
Thank you.
you? Where are you?
I'm good. I'm sitting in close to the airport in Los Angeles. I needed a few days break, and it's yeah, I'm doing interviews and talking with you and to people in Mexico, and just relaxing because we have finished our United States of America concerts for now, and um, and yeah, on Saturday or Friday and Saturday we all travel at different times. We will all take our plane down to Guadalajara, and we are very excited about it.
Nice. So I guess you are now on tour because promoting Electric Sun.
Since
Tell us a
February.
bit about the tour. How's that going on?
Oh my God, it's well, the tour started in February, so we've been on off since February, and we started in Sweden, and then all the way through Germany. It was incredible. I mean, in Europe, the concerts were bigger than we expected. In fact, it surprised us a lot that we had in some places 30% more people and some places 50% more people. And they were already big concerts. And we don't know where all these people are coming from because there are lots of new fans. Um, we have been playing, all over Europe, United Kingdom. Then we do the first concerts in North America. We just played, United States, some concerts. Now we go down to Mexico. And then next year we go back for more. So I'm telling you, man, everywhere we're going, there is no bad concert. People are energetic, they're passionate, they're singing, they're dancing, but they are connecting with the music. Maybe it's that the pandemic is over,
Yeah,
people are connecting again at concerts, but people want something emotional. And
yeah,
we see this all over the United States, but not just boring emotional. They want
yeah,
something
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
it fills their heart, but also makes them move.
Okay, so you just gave me a door to walk into. I was gonna ask you because I was there 3 years ago when you last came to Guadalajara in
Hmm.
Mexico, and I remember it was late February, right before the world shut down.
Yep.
So do you think like how are you seeing the world after that huge break we took?
Whew. I don't trust governments anymore. That's the first. Um, I think that a lot of, I mean, look, I lost a lot of friends, and that's the thing that hurt me a
Yeah,
lot. And not just old people, young people too. Um, I noticed that just when we're coming out of this, a lot of people they have forgotten how to behave. A lot of people have forgotten how to be social, how to connect. Um, Too many of my friends are staying home. I keep trying to pull them out, get back into the world, get living again. Um, or we have concerts where people are walking into a concert and they don't know how to behave. It's like, you've done this, you know how the world works. It's only a small, like, 2 year break. So that's, I find, very strange. I think it will take us some time before we are back to really, really back to normal. But
yeah,
what um, what worries me is that a lot of people stop talking with each other. They prefer to put a barrier and talk through the computer or talk through the phone, but they don't want to have social contact. And I
sure.
think that's a strange piece of damage, that we have hurt ourselves, because the key to humanity is that we speak, that we connect, that we meet, that we do things with each other. So I want to see that continue.
Yeah. Okay. So before this is let's say a two-part question talking about the pandemic. Did that in any way ignite some creative spark in you, and that's
Eh,
why you decided to make a new album, or was
no,
it just
no, I cannot stop making music. I can't. It does not stop. If I'm doing nothing, songs will play in my head. If I'm working on something, building something, not anything with music. I'm just cooking or washing or whatever. A song will come into my head. like an earworm. You know, when you hear a song on the radio or a song on an album, and it will not leave your head, and it plays and it plays and it plays. I spent at the end of 2019, I started to build a new studio.
Okay.
So when I came back in at the end of February 2020, everything stopped. And it was 2 years of pain, bringing a company in to build one piece, and then they go away, and then the electric people come in and they want to do something. And it was painful because there was no possibility to say, you come in this day, you come in this day, do it like this. So I was very frustrated, but this paid off. This had a benefit because I have my computer, I have my laptop. I only need my laptop, to be honest. And I was able to write all of my demos, all of my ideas. I wrote a lot of songs,
Nice.
Of so many different styles. I mean, I did not stop. I don't care what style of music I'm writing. If I have an idea, I do it because it's fun. I love making music. But the good thing was that while I'm writing the album, I could take the time to think about the songs and also to think about what I need my studio to be when I'm finished. This is very important. So in the end, I got a studio that sounds great. I have everything I need. You can put me in there for 6 months. Leave me. Just give me water, give me bread, water. That's it. And leave me there for 6 months. All I want to do is just work there and make music.
Nice.
I really have everything for my soul.
Okay, nice. That's perfect. So you think that was it the studio or the new energy that you get from the studio, or was it a specific layout that you wanted to?
Well, the layout is you know what you want to do. You know how you want it to work. Sorry, I do this. You know how you want it to work, so you don't look at my bed. You know how look. It's like creating anything. It's your workplace. The ideas are important. How you get your ideas out of your head. That's the most important thing. That's the process, your workflow, they call it. So I had a lot of time to think, change, make a new idea. Oh, what about this? What about this? And that means that in the end, all my little needs, I'm thinking about them. They're finished. So, but what is happening in me while I'm doing this process is the ideas are writing over and over in my head. I have my laptop. I can go sit at home I can sit on the balcony, or I can sit in my living room. I can sit in my office, whatever, and I can just play around with music, and I can develop ideas and develop them more and more. So I'm not sitting in a studio where you have this feeling, okay, make an album. It's doing it because I love it and it's coming naturally. But through this process, I learned a lot because I wanted to go back to an older, organic way of making music. How I made music in the first albums was with a lot of real synthesizers. Now, I always use equipment, but on this album, I wanted only really to use as much equipment as possible. I want that I'm playing with things, that I'm in my own space, sitting with a piano, with a synthesizer, with whatever, making sounds, having fun, feeling a creative process of organicness. And it was like meeting an old friend, because I think I forgot this. It does not mean that the other albums were not as good. That's not what I mean.
Of course.
The other are amazing in their own way, but it's like I came like a full circle. I came back to how I made music at the beginning, in how I make beats, how I make just the creating a texture. And this taught me something that I'm doing it in a modern way. It's better. It sounds better. I know how to use a studio. So if I have an idea, I know how to make it happen. That's so just leave me in a studio for next year. I'll give you a couple of albums.
That's great. So you think that organic sound or that organic process is what best translate into that album, right? In electric sound.
You hear the album and you can hear that there are many dimensions to it. It's I wanted it to have a big cinematic sound. That's the idea for it. It does not mean that every album after it will sound the same. It just means that I knew how I wanted it to create the sound that was in my head. And that is a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But this organicness, this real, we say tactile, that you're actually touching things, that you're playing with, with equipment and creating what you want. Almost, you say, okay, I have a sound in my head. I know where to go. I go to this synthesizer. I make do it. I want to use a special equalizer. I want to use a special studio processor. I know where it is. It's over here. Great. And everything is happening in my head instead of only looking at a screen. We're humans. I mean,
of course, yeah.
Humans have two hands, right? Most of us, right? If we're lucky. But when you make music with a computer, the thing that maybe younger people don't think about it like this, you're painting with one finger. This is, to me, a pain in the ass, because I don't paint with one finger. I don't do anything with one finger. And that's what using a mouse is like. It's like, I want to build something. If you are going to make a chair, right? Let's say you work with wood. You don't do it with one finger. You don't tell somebody where to move something. You have to feel it. And that's what it felt like to me. I felt like I was really building something. But the process of the 3 years of building the studio, I was using so many tools and so many power tools. And maybe this was part of the process. I don't think about it. I think it's you who listens to me talking and hears how I made it, who can tell me what you think. Maybe this is all part of the process, but it felt like a great evolution for me to be useful, to be involved, to be connected as a human, because that's really what the album was about.
Yeah.
It's
go on. Sorry. And on the lyric sides too, right? Because
it's easiest time I've had. I mean, recording vocals is usually a very painful process, because you hear it, you think, no, let's do it again. No, I switched on the microphone. I had a friend helping me who was sitting there with the computer listening when we were recording and saying, try this again, or give me a little bit more of this. It was so fast recording the songs. It's like I could stand there, close my eyes, and just let it out. I don't have to work at it. And there's one song on the album called Run. And this is a very, very good example of this, where I was singing in a way I have not sung since I was a child. And it's a very Irish style of singing. Okay. And it came naturally. This does not happen unless you feel completely comfortable and you forget the studio, you forget everything.
Yeah.
You're singing. You're in the shower. You know what I mean? There's no audience. There's nobody listening. You're doing it for you.
That's perfect. That's a perfect description of probably what I felt when I first listened and I re-listened to the album. So speaking of your lyrical content, there's, I don't want to say it's a juxtaposition, but it's a high contrast between what you listen to lyric wise and the music. I think that the lyrics are very meaningful and deep, and the music is more like relax. It's dance music. It's electronics sort of things. How do you,
not always.
Not dance.
I would disagree with you on that. I understand what you're saying, but I think you can write a very powerful, emotional, and meaningful lyric, and you can have a song like Before the Rain or a song like Sunflare, which has this monotonous, hypnotic beat, but the music around it is like a ritual that's always repeating. So for me, the beat is just a guide. It's not the front.
Yeah.
But then you have a song like Artifice, which is deliberately written to sound like it does. I don't just write a song like this for no reason. There's always a psychological reason behind it.
Yeah.
If you listen to the lyrics, it is about an artifice is an artificial creation, something that's just constructed like a personality, or like a lot of people today who say, oh, I care about this, I care about the world, I care about, and it's really, they're saying, repeating what what everybody wants them to say. They're saying what they need to say, like influencers, you know? It's all sad and fake. And that song, the lyrics are about those people. That's why the music sounds like it does. It's just a fun dance song. But it's the thing I recognized was a lot of the people who would hear this song and go, oh, wow, that's easy for me to listen to. It's so easy. I don't have to think about it. Are the people the song's about.
Yeah, totally.
But there are a lot of people who listen to it who also say, hey, I like these kind of old disco electronics and some of these really hard techno beats. But then you have a song like Electric Sun, which is like me going into trip hop in a way, a little bit, with some cinema soundtracks from the 60s and the 70s in a little way. Every song has a special place and has a meaning to it. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
There are many ways to present emotion and meaning and to reach people in a way that there is a poeticness, but it's my uniqueness. It does not make it superficial. It does not make it, it's my uniqueness in that I combine these elements together. I create these atmospheres. Yeah, it's fine to dance, but the band Covenant, they described it perfectly. They said it's the feeling of being on a dance floor, dancing through the night, but with your brain connected.
Exactly. Yeah. I totally see what you mean. So speaking of the world we're living now, or the current state of our affairs in the world, like having war, having this still like dwelling from things like chaos and stuff like that going on in the world. How do you think your message of victory, not violence, echoes in that world? And
I saw, look, governments are the ones who choose to fight. Or organizations. It's people on top of organizations, fanatics, extremists, governments who want to create an advantage for their country, or they're fighting some other kind of war. We are not involved in those decisions. We are just little people at the bottom of the system. But when I go, you know, the media loves to tell you a lot of bullshit about what's happening in the world and a lot of how people are. And when you go to those countries, it is nothing like the media tells you. When you meet the people, you realize that everywhere you go in the world, humans are humans. Yeah. And most people want to be happy and want to be friends with people, and no contest, no conflict, no nothing. They just want a peaceful life to live their life. That's all they want.
Yeah.
Very few people think, I want to control a lot of people and I want to destroy people. There's a tiny, small amount of people who think like that. Unfortunately, humans can be controlled. But for me, I see when we play the concerts, most people just want to think, to talk their ideas, to tell you what matters to them, what feels good to them. And it isn't anymore, it does not need to be any more complicated than that. Yeah. So see the emotion, I see the reaction. I see it in America, that a lot of people, or in the United States of America, that people are really, they're almost glad. They're very happy that there is an opportunity to release all this emotion. And hopefully that this leads them to think more about their world and how they can make it a bit better. That's all I'm doing. I mean, I don't have the answer. I have a little bit of, I push you a little bit to make the conclusion.
Yeah, so it's pretty much, so you think or how do you perceive the role of music, especially your music, in this, let's try to be happy?
Everything starts with an individual. Everything. I'm not going to try to tell a government how to be. I think politicians have been listening to musicians screaming at them and nothing has ever worked. I'm not that person anyway. That was never my thing. I'm here to help people like me out, individuals who want to be a little bit better every day than they were yesterday. It's my journey too.
Yeah.
But within this world, I think it is possible for you to find happiness, to find truth, to find something that is greater and bigger than all of this childish bullshit of throwing stones at each other. Because, you know, the intelligent ones are the people who can see past all of this stupidity and
Yeah.
say, look, we're not fucking apes anymore. We're not like, at the beginning of this film, 2001, hitting each other with the bones, we're not that.
Yeah.
We are better than this. We can be better than this. We can solve all our problems, but it seems like a small percentage of us are holding everyone else back. We can be better. We can make this world a fucking amazing place. There is no problem we cannot fix. But unfortunately, it gets tied up with bullshit politics
Yeah.
and people talking and talking about their fucking opinion. It's like saying, this person has no glass of water. Well, what are we going to do about it? Well, what we need to do is just give the fucking person a glass of water.
Exactly.
Is simple answers to simple problems.
Yeah.
We've had the answer since the beginning of time, but we stop ourselves. We're idiots. So yeah, and you hear me getting emotional. See?
Yeah, that's amazing. So I think that emotion that you always displaying, whether it's on stage or off, has a unique vibe. For me, VNV Nation, it's a band that has a soul and a vibe on its own. So this is a kind of weird question. Regardless of any musical genre, do you think you have like a musical doppelganger or a soulmate, other band that you think this is VNV Nation in, I don't know, in rock and roll or in soul or whatever?
Jesus, no, I've never heard that question before. Well done. You stopped me. I've never heard that question before. I don't hear another. I wish I would like to hear another artist singing things where I say, wow, that's the same truth I'm trying to explain. Okay, this will sound very arrogant, okay? And please forgive me because I do not, I'm always apologizing for myself. But there was an interview on British television with the author, the writer, Paulo Coelho. And my friend was watching the interview and he recorded it and he sent it to me and he said, every answer he gave is the same answer you give. And I said, I don't know this author. And he said, are you serious? I said, no, never. I never
It's
heard of
very
it.
famous. Yeah.
Right. Well, I picked up The Alchemist. Now, I know a lot about esoteric things and I have studied many, many subjects. And I'm a Gnostic in the Gnostic, as a person who, the seeker of knowledge. And it's written in all of my lyrics. Anyone who thinks they don't know it is not reading my lyrics because it's written. I'm saying it as clear as day. And people who are experienced with these kinds of systems will start to hear little hints or references in the music and go, there are many levels to what I write. So I read The Alchemist and I thought, oh my God, this is incredible. I give this book to many friends and they think it's so simple. It's a simple story. And I say, well, yeah, but are you understanding it? Are you understanding what's being said? There's many authors I read where like Haruki Murakami, I read one by him, Norwegian Wood. And I thought, again, like,
that's a great book.
I think there are many people who express themselves in the same way. Many people across the world. I'm just very honored when somebody says to me that somebody as a giant, like a giant, like Paulo Coelho, they say your answers are the same as his answers in an interview. And he even says them the way you do.
That's amazing.
And I thought, that's okay. That really surprised me and made me very, very humble. My friend knows him.
Yeah.
And my friend said, I can get an autograph. And I said, well, I don't have autographs from many people. I'm very, very, I don't like VIP and I don't like, I was brought up by a family who came from nothing. My family came really from nothing. So I was very humble and I said, yeah, okay, give me an autograph. And I have a beautiful autograph copy of The Alchemist at home. And this means so much to me because, it's my life is in this book too. I'm reading this saying, this is the path of my life.
Mirror. Yeah.
absolutely incredible. I think that's the wonder of humanity. There will always be these parallels. And yeah, you asked the question and it took me to a really interesting answer.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Actually, it's a perfect answer. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so I know we're running out of time. Just what can people expect from your return to Mexico this weekend?
Boredom, sadness. No. We want people in the audience to connect with us. We want that if you listen to the music or you want to get into the music, I always say that the answer to you to everything is running in your veins. It's the blood in your veins, the beating of your heart, the thoughts in your mind. Feeling alive is the most important part of being human. You must ignite this, set this on fire. And that's what I want. So if you like the songs, if you want to dance, if you just want to break out for an hour away from the rest of your life and forget your problems and maybe just connect more with yourself, just do it. Feel free, have fun, sing, think, all of it, all at once. We give you the energy, but we want you to sing with us. We want you to dance with us, move with us. And it works.
It'll be great.
It works.
I'll be super happy to see you again on Sunday. And thank you so very much, Ronan, for this interview. It was amazing. I hope you had a great time.
Thank you for really interesting questions. That was great, man.
All right, man. See you on Sunday, and thank you again.
Hasta luego, señor.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.